Hey everyone, this is Wolfwire Studios, and here I am with another devlog. It's been quite a while, I guess, maybe a week or so, but I bring you some updates. You can say it's a really significant one with respect to level design, of course. Yeah, I don't want to hide too much stuff. Let's just get on with it. So I've added quite a few assets. I have enhanced some blueprints in terms of their functionality, and I've added uh, you can say stuff to both the annex and the consulate. So let's just quickly have a look at first of all the annex because it's one of my favorites. So here we are. Looking at this angle, you may not see much going on here, okay? But let me actually give you a quick look. So if you have been following my Twitter, you know about this thing, right? This security panel, as you can see, this one right here, the one that I created. This is a security panel because, well, Annex had security panels and almost all of the doors were automatic. So they used to close right after you have, you know, interacted with them. So all of these doors are auto closing ones. I am sure you're aware of that. And these panels, again, if you have seen the video I posted on Twitter, they changed this panel screen color. Okay, as you can see, it is an illuminating thing and it looks like a screen, right? A display screen. But as of now, it only has this static color, no text on it. I'm thinking of adding a text later on. Okay, this is the first thing that I wanted to show you guys, the panels. I'll show everything that I have here in action in just a moment. Other than that, I've added this door handles. Let me just quickly zoom in. Yeah. I've added these door handles, as you can see. They are pretty detailed. Yeah. I posted the renders on LinkedIn, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. They are the panels, as you can see, the metal ones. I also made a second set of panels, the gold ones, and they are in Consulate because, again, like I said, Consulate was actually a house. Again, it was a proper residential complex, okay, created by one of the wealthy families, okay, and then they left it and it was leased off to the US government. They made it a consulate, so on and so forth. So they had the golden handles. I'll just show you guys quickly. Now let's quickly move on. Other than that, what all I have added? Yeah, the PVC panels. Let me just quickly fetch one of those. Yeah, no, not the one in building D. Where is building D? Yeah. So guys, I also made this PVC panel here. If you look closely to the material, as you can see, it is very reflective in nature, right? But it is translucent. See, you can see all those matte finish, those heavy particles, as you can see, the matte finish. It is like semi-translucent, I should say. I mean, it's not completely opaque, but it is not proper translucent. You can see through it, but it is still very dark and opaque. I wanted to make this PVC panel because let's be honest with you, like in Annex, you are going to have some sort of a privacy shed if you're working on something, and if you're processing something you need that sort of a space. So I'm not going to add walls and like literally everywhere. I'm not going to add walls. Okay, I already have these dry walls, the dummy walls, right? And the concrete that is supporting. So I'm not going to add walls everywhere. I'll just use these PVC panels, and I can just use them anywhere I want. And other than that, Annex has nothing else if I'm not wrong. Yeah. Oh, one more thing. It was like my first rodeo. This. So I created a shed, as you can see, a metal shed. I created this in Blender, of course, and then I created a plane and I attached it to the shed here. And this plane is subdivided and it is enabled of cloth physics, which is brilliant. I mean, this was my first time actually trying out cloth physics and it turned out to be great. If I were to explain the process, if you guys want me to explain the process, I can very quickly. This is my blueprint, as you can see. Let me just quickly find the mesh with the shed. Yeah. So guys, this is the skeletal mesh, and as you can see here, I hope you guys captured it. I'll open it again. Just look closely here, as you can see. The cloth is simulating, right? So this is the static mesh. This is the amazing part about this static mesh, that this cloth is simulating now. All I had to do was just make a clothing data for this particular mesh. Okay, there are two parts, right? One is the plane and one is the metal shed. So I took the plane, I created a custom clothing data, I applied that to this object here. I'll show you guys how I did that. After that, I just activated cloth paint. As you can see now, it is not simulating, it is suspended properly. And I selected this and I started doing cloth painting. As you can see, here is my secret revealed. Because of the mesh, I had to, carefully mask out all of the places where I wanted the cloth to suspend. And basically the pink one is not suspending. Okay, the pink one is static and the white ones is where the cloth is simulating. Okay, had it been like straight plane, it would have been pink. So I masked out the shape according to the shape. As you can see, according to the shape of this mesh, I had to mask out. It's not perfect, I agree, but then again, whenever you simulate a cloth over such a thing, it won't be perfect. Okay, I mean, there will be uneven patterns all over the cloth because it is a cloth, so it's bound to happen that way. And that's it. After doing your painting, you just can deactivate the cloth paint. It is very easy. I was afraid how to do chaos physics and all, but yeah, here we are. And I deployed it in this blueprint because it's easy to have a blueprint rather than having a skeletal mesh all over. Also, the reason why I did that was this. Basically, let me quickly search it up. Visibility, yeah. As you can see, I have such boxes all around. Because I was actually testing out cloth physics, so I forgot to implement collision here, as you can see. So I've implemented collision. You can even walk on this. Because I was pressed with time, I forgot to properly add collision, and the collision that Unreal made using the default mesh, that physics capsule, that was very crap, to say the least. So what I did, just to simplify things, I made a blueprint and I added these static meshes as a child to this skeletal mesh, and I can simply make them, as you can see, hidden. But since they are actual meshes, they will have collision. So you're able to react with the object in terms of collision. So yeah, that's it. Let me just quickly talk about the panels, how I created them. Well, if you guys remember the door blueprint that I created using the tutorials, I hope you guys remember that. What I did was, in my door mesh, as you can see here, I added these two static meshes as a parent, okay, to the door mesh. So basically, whatever you attach to the door mesh will rotate if the door mesh is rotating. That is the handles. So I want the handles to rotate. As you can see, these are the two static meshes. And then I made a separate static mesh, which is not a parent of the door, because I don't want these panels to be rotating if the door is rotating, right? So I added this panel mesh here and the child as a lens. I'll tell you guys why I made it a lens. See this, okay? This is my panel, okay? If you guys follow me on ArtStation, you might have seen this already. The problem is you can activate nanite for this. I can see it. No, I cannot. It's okay. You can activate nanite for this, but you cannot activate nanite for this. As you can see, this is just a lens and it is using, if I'm able to show you guys in unlit, hopefully. No, I'm not able to show you guys that. Detail lighting, yeah. There is a pattern if you guys can carefully see this black roughness pattern. So I actually was giving enough detail to the lens, although I know no one is going to see that. And then I realized that they have to be opaque material which will have the opacity trigger in it. So you cannot make that nanite doesn't support see-through meshes right now, as of now. I hope they fix this in some way. So this is the parent mesh here and the lens is the child of it. So if you resize or move the parent, the child moves along with it. And since they are both sharing the same origin point, I'm actually all good for it. So as I was talking to you guys about the updates in terms of blueprints, I updated my blueprint in some ways. Okay. This is the code for material switching. Okay. As you can see, panel material switch. What actually is happening here, this is my master material for the panel. Let me just first demo it out. Okay, so let's just quickly see any panel. Yeah, this panel, for example. As you can see, the screen is blue. If I press F on it, interact with it, I can open it and the door opens and it is blue again. And whenever it will close, it will be red again. As you can see, it is red again and blue again. So how is this happening? What I did was I created this material here. Okay, I'm using the similar textures. The way you will do anything in Substance Painter is the way you're supposed to do stuff here. Okay, and if you guys have seen the tutorial I made recently about UDIMs, I will recommend to check it out if you haven't. It's a really nice tutorial. I did my best there. So what you do is actually just export the maps, the UDIM maps, and simply just make a material, and they are virtual textures. Okay, so I plugged in the base color, I plugged in the normal, the occlusion, roughness, and metallic, but I wanted the emissive color. Okay, there was something. So what I did was I took the emissive channel, it's on the UV. I took the emissive channel and I made this emissive color. Okay, so what I'm doing it, I'm just multiplying this emissive channel by this, the blue channel, by this particular color. Basically, I'm just overriding this color and I'm using this emissive switch parameter. This is a static parameter. You cannot change it on runtime. But I guess that's a different one, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, basically you can use this if you're using a material instance. And then I'm using this value to multiply with the emissive multiplier of, how intense I want the value to be. So what I did was I created this, a material instance, which has these three parameters, which I can control. The multiplier, as you can see here, the color, I can change the color whenever I want. So right now it is blue red. I can make it blue green if I want. And I can also toggle the switch, this switch basically. So this instance, material instance, has this true value, okay, that it is true. So what's happening here is, in this parameter, if it is true, it is going to use these two values, okay, these values. If it is false, it will just use the emissive channel that I created, that is the default blue color, as you can see, and multiplied by the factor and plugged into the emissive color. So this instance has the true value. Now I'm using this instance inside my door blueprint at the update node for the animation, the what is it, timeline. Yeah, so on finished, what I'm doing is I'm setting the material back to the original one, the blue one. But on update, as you can see, update, I'm setting it to the material instance here. As you can see, material instance constant. So what actually is happening is, when the timeline is updating, it doesn't matter if it is opening or closing, because it is a timeline. It's just playing from start and reverse. So if the timeline is active, this material is red, the true one, the instance. And if it is not, if it is finished, it is blue. A very simple switch, if you ask me. And yeah, that's it. That's how I did it. But that's not all for the door blueprint. I actually did a lot in construction script. And I love handling blueprints. I know they can be tedious, but they are really cool if you know how to get stuff done with them. So I reckon that the panel mesh for any particular door, like, it will need some sort of adjustment, right? By default, it's going to be at the origin point here, this white dot, as you can see. I don't want that, okay? I want to adjust it. I want to rotate it, scale down if needed, and put them in the wall that is perfect for them. Like, as you can see, this door has this panel inside here. But this door, since there was no space here on the left, I put it on the right, as you can see. See? So I needed to adjust the values of the panel. So I went to the door blueprint and I did this. I took the panel mesh as the static mesh and I made this variable, which is the location and rotation, which I can set relatively. And I made these two variables here. Where are they? Yeah, the panel scale and the panel rotation. I made these blueprint editable. Okay. So whenever I'm creating an instance, I can just simply edit them. And this will set the relative rotation relative. So it is with respect to the door's origin. And yeah, simple. I can just set them. I did the same with the scale for the panel. And I did the same for this. Yeah. Later on, I realized that not every door will need the panel. Okay. So I needed a switch for the visibility. So I created a Boolean variable again, which is editable. And I created this set visibility node in the construction script. If it is too confusing for you, take it down this way. Construction script is the set of instructions and rules that run when you are creating the instance of that particular blueprint class. Okay, blueprint is just a class. So this constructor, it's like a constructor. Okay, it is giving you the default values just like in C++. So I just use this boolean to toggle the visibility, which is by default true. So I have to disable it, and I'm hooking up panel lens and the panel mesh. As you can see, it is going right here in the visibility column. So this is for the panel, as simple as that. Now moving on about the door handles. I wanted to have two door panels, front and back, like of course goes without saying. So I had to make a big node system here. As you can see, there are two static meshes, door handle F and door handle B. What I'm doing is I'm just setting the static mesh because, like I told you, I have two handles and I just wanted to do the same in one single script. So I did this. I was able to modify the static meshes, and these variables, as you can see here, the door handle F, this is the static mesh component here, right? But this new mesh is handle front. It is a variable. Here it is, as you can see, handle front and handle back. And it's the same code. I'm just I'm just running this code and setting the mesh dynamically on runtime. And I'm making this vector variable. I'm setting the relative location for this front handle, its relative rotation, the back handle's location, and the back handle's rotation, all hooked up to the same thing. As you can see, just one thing is referencing the front handle and the back handle. They are just, as you can see, referencing through this. So yeah, and due to this, I was able to have everything here on the right side where the mouse cursor is. So as you can see, the first value is in or out, the multiplier, which will tell the door will open in or out, the angle, how much I want to open it, the auto close timer. Auto close timer, where is it? Yeah, it is here. As you can see, set timer by event. If you guys remember from the door opening tutorial, I'll try to link it up here. The auto close timer is actually telling you how quickly it should fire this timer. Okay, so you can set it like how quickly you want the door to hold on the open or the close state, basically the open state, not the close state. Okay, that's the timer. Also auto close enable, because I don't want every door to be closed. The doors in Annex were having this auto close feature, not the one in Consulate. So I also made a boolean. Where is the boolean? Here, yeah. So it is actually toggling. Okay, right when the animation is updating, it will check that if this thing is enabled, only then I'll fire the timer. If not, then I won't. Okay, simple as that. After that, we have the vector. As you can see, panel location, panel rotation. I can even adjust it for you if you want. See, I can adjust the X value. I can adjust the Y value. As you can see, the frames are dropping. I hope it is visible. See, I can just simply adjust. Yeah, that's it. I can adjust the rotation if I want. See, as you can see, I can rotate them on Z, and I can adjust the scale. I'm not doing that right now. I can make it on or off, which I'm not. Again, it's like, as you can see, it's a very simple switch, just like, this way. Anyways, and as you can see, I can pick the mesh here, which is the metal handle, as you can see, the front one and the back one, and then the vectors, which are front handle, rotation, location, and back one. Okay, so yeah, that's all. That's it, guys. It has been intensive, not to mention, like a bit time consuming to set up. But yeah, it was nice. It was nice handling construction script. Also, this is the Zombieland. I mean, in official documents, it has been called as Zombieland. Even in the book, it has been mentioned as Zombieland. Even in the movies, if I'm not wrong, it was mentioned Zombieland. I'm not going to name that. This is on record. I'm going to name it something else. I don't want to violate the copyright of the book and the movie. Yeah, for the record, I'm clear here. But they cannot copyright the original view of the location. I already have the satellite images, so I'm copying the satellite images and I'm trying to make it as real as I could. These plates, whatever, these sheds actually were the ones that used to hide, not exactly hide. They used to house the cattle, the cows and the goats, etc. So it was like a ranch, you can say, and it had its border, in every form. Of course, I'll make that sooner or later using the walls. I just wanted to place them here. Okay. Talking about placing them, if you guys remember from the previous the older devlogs, I made this, the blueprint repeatable actor, if you guys remember. Okay, what we are doing is on construction script, it's just that we are taking the assets. Okay, we are adding an instance static mesh, and then we are setting it whatever we want to set it as, and creating an instance if we want to, and then setting that material. Then we are running a loop using the variable copies, and then we are multiplying it by the repeating width, and then adding it on to the particular instance, whatever that instance is. This was, as I followed the YouTuber, this was followed just for the y-axis, if I'm not wrong, but I wanted to use it for both of the axes. Like, what if the mesh I want is working on x-axis and not y, or vice versa? So I use this select node, as you can see. So what is actually going on is just using the x value and selecting it, and using these two booleans. And again, they are blueprint editable. The eyes are opened, cliche. Yeah, so what actually is happening in this code, this boolean, if it is true, it is going to take this multiplier. If it is false, then it is going to directly take the x value and hook it up in the instance node. Okay, same as with y. It is just running with y and using the same logic, the normal value or the multiplier value. What this helps us here, take this for example. As you can see, it is enabled with y-axis. If I disable it, it is not doing anything. Okay, the copies still exist. How many copies have I made? Let me check. Sorry, where is the value? Yeah, as you can see, 3 copies. Okay, so the copies exist. It's just that they are toggled. And if I do it at x, here we are. See, it is right there. And I can disable x, I can enable y. Simple. So, guys, the simple takeaway is blueprints are meant to be, controllers for you. They're meant to be controllers. Use them properly. Use the construction script properly. It will actually help you in level design. I just realized that. I mean, I learned a lot from blueprints. They're really, really nice. So, yeah, that's it, guys. I hope this annex has been good for you so far. I'm actually going to give you guys a quick look for the annex. This is the, oh yeah, this is the second mesh. I used a different asset. I downloaded this tarp from Quixel Mixer. Sorry, the Quixel Megascans bridge, because I was like, okay, that one is using the army shed. I don't want to use it same, So building B can have this, sorry, building A can have this shed. And yeah, this is the door panel, open and close. Automatic. Yeah, automatic and close. It is a 5-second timer. Let's just quickly go to the shed that I created. It's a courtyard. And there we go. The shed that I created. See? And it is a see-through mesh, as you can see, right? And it is a really nice mesh. I had to use the opacity channel. So no, nanite is not enabled for this mesh because I wanted this opacity one to filter it, but it is working nicely. I downloaded this from 3dtextures.me. I'll properly credit everything, every asset or material that I use in my credits for the game. I will. And yeah, it is actually, looking nice. It is covering you and it is reflecting properly. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, also to show you guys the PVC panels. See this? And you can see through it. You can see the same here. And if you guys look carefully, you can see the pattern, the matte finish of the PVC panels. Yes, I've added some lights. It's not visible here. I'll quickly go inside. What happened to the frame rate? Just quickly go here. As you can see, I added some rectangular lights for the sake of showing you guys that something is being done. And yes, I added panels on almost every door, as you can see. And yeah, here as well. There is no light in this room. Something is odd. Rectangular lights are really good, as you can see. And spotlights are nice as well. Anyway, so that is all with Annex. Yeah, that is all with Annex. This is the tarp one. And now let's quickly move on to the consulate. Where is the player? Yeah, I'm already taking quite a long. I know, guys, this is a long video. It had to be because of the massive updates I was making. Let's just drop the player here. Yeah, so the first update, as you can see in consulate, I've added barbed wires. I downloaded them off from Sketchfab, and I will credit the author respectfully. And I created this barbed wire holder, if you can see it. Yeah, this Y-shaped thing. and I added it here on this repeatable actor. Basically, I did the X and Y variable switch. If no, not on this one. Sorry, yeah, it wasn't needed. Basically, I updated the blueprint, but after this wall blueprint was created, as you can see on this mesh, we have the toggle X and Y, but not on this one because it's the older one. I haven't updated this. This is a child, okay? So as you can see, the whole consulate has barbed wires. I can just give you a walk through that. Whole consulate has barbed wires because why not? You are protecting the ambassador for God's sake, okay? And this is the front arch, okay? Nice. It looks nice. Yeah, just a very tiny, notice here. Uh, the last time I showed you guys this arch and the barrack, it was using 2K textures. So I updated them on 4K because the whole game is using 4K. It is intensive, but I will adjust accordingly. I will have a resolution scaler and texture streaming scaler. So don't worry about that. Yeah, as you can see, video memory has been exhausted. I know. My bad. I'll actually close this. It's actually very intensive. Yeah, much better now. Oof. Okay, so this is the front gate, guys. I created this. It's looking decent enough. I hope you guys like this one. And this is the metal panels. The consulate, sorry, yeah, the consulate was having given this metal panels, okay, for like extra reinforcement security, basically to cover off the things that are broken because this consulate was not proper, okay. It had a lot of flaws and holes in it. So it was given such panels, and I created my own adaptation of those panels. This is the checkpost room, and again, as you can see, the door handle and the door handles are here as well. Now let's quickly, I hope you guys have seen this parking. Okay, I make this parking. There was this parking that used to hide, like used to just shed one vehicle or maybe at times two, depending upon the needs for the Feb 17 militia or maybe the ambassador. This is the barrack, if you guys remember, but we have a twist here. The gold handles. Yes, you have unlocked the golden skin, level 52 commander. So, this is the golden handle in front of you. Yeah, that's it. Now let's just quickly move on to consulate here. As you can see, it is looking exactly the same. You have barbed wires here and there. Also, on the TOC, Tactical Operations Center, I added the panel. This was shown in the Twitter clip, and it has the handles here as well. The handles look very small here. The doors are big, it is a compartment, like it is a secure compartment. The doors handles are really different, and the panel as well. The cantina, as you can see, a door handle, the golden one. I added a small button on the inside line of them. I don't know if it is visible or not. Yeah, as you can see, the small button, I added this as a, like a touch of detail because you can press the button and open it. Anyways, that's not what I'm here for. Let's just quickly play. As you can see, the back gate here. I have disabled the auto close functionality from these gates. Almost all of the consulate doors have the functionality disabled because why not? Here we are now. There we go. The tiles look way better, guys. If you guys remember from the starting devlogs, I guess devlog number 13 or 14, the textures were very bad, okay? I reworked the whole consulate. Surprise, surprise, I reworked it and it is now using UDIMs. So the textures are better, as you can see. Marginally better, I would say. For some, it is really, really good. Some of my friends said it is really good and some of them said it's fine. I'm going by fine. Not so much with the doors, but the door handles look absolutely beautiful. I'm so proud of them. So yeah, oh wait, the consulate has changed. It looks smaller and it looks different. I mean, sure, it does. So I added this thing here, the black and golden tiles. Well, in the consulate, it had this sort of an, elevated area where the ambassador had placed sofas here and here, sofas and TV sets and curtains and everything. So yeah, I wanted to make this thing as authentic as possible because why not? And the inside layout was actually a bit, difficult to come by, very, very hard to come by. So what I did was I just took some liberty. I adjusted the way the walls were and I gave them my own look. So this is the, the basically the central hall. Okay, you can have all of the stuff here. Maybe the bed. I don't know. I'm not too sure of this. This is the locker room. Not exactly the locker room. I'm going to make this as the storage here. Simple. And this is the extension. This is the opening. I use the new doors. Yes, guys, I made some new doors that have this mesh here. This is the additional room. I'll of course have something here. It could be the, I guess, the bedroom for ambassador. I'm not super sure of this, or maybe his working place, where he can write and do stuff. The same is with this. As you can see, it is very close to the window arch. Yeah, not so proper placement. And this, guys, this tight thing here is the safe haven, where the ambassador and the communications expert Sean Smith was hiding. May their soul rest in peace. Just remembering them. They hide in the safe haven. They were hiding in the safe haven, and the terrorists actually burned the whole area. So they were trapped in here, and they couldn't move. They couldn't do anything, and they died of suffocation. So yeah, I created the model as authentic as I could in my own ways. That's it. Anything else? Yeah, the door handles are here as well, as you can see. So yeah, that's all, guys. I hope I haven't missed anything, and I hope it hasn't been boring for you. Yes, this is a very long video. Almost every devlog that I have made is very long. I don't know why I do that. I just have a habit of talking, maybe. And that's all, guys. That's it. This is the annex in front of you with the zombie land. I'll try to make this. I'll try to make a good thumbnail this time. And now, what's next? Talking about what's next, guys. I'm going to revamp the player controller. So, spoiler ahead, I'm not using the Unreal Engine 5 mannequin. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use the Unreal Engine 4 skeleton. I have a different animation asset I want to use, which is made for Unreal Engine 4 skeleton, and it is perfect for true first person. I'm not going to reveal right now what that animation is, but yeah, it is a really good one, trust me. So I will implement it in the following week, and I'll get back to you guys. I'm hoping to finish level design by mid-October or by at least the end of October. And that includes, as you can see, this wilderness of black and white boxes. That is the houses, the procedural houses, like I said, and the material. So next I'm working on landscape materials. I'm finally done with the actual landscape. Now what I have to do is just add, measly props, chair, table, lamps, whatever. I just have to add those, and or even, cars for that matter. And same as in the consulate, desk and chairs and bunk beds and normal beds and tables, etc., etc., etc. And place these PVC panels properly inside and have good lighting. Lighting will come later on, yeah, I'm sure. So yeah, I'll now work on landscape, and before that I'll fix the animations of the player and make it perfectly accurate the way it should be, given it's a true first person game. Okay. And after that, I'm going on landscape and then procedural houses, and then adding decals and other props with it, and foliage for the instanced mesh here. Oof, that's a mouthful, isn't it? And then I'm going on lighting and post processing, and yeah, then I'm going to move on to sequences and everything else. Also, I need to design characters and whatnot. Game development isn't easy, but I'm doing it. Anyways, guys, if you like whatever I'm doing, make sure to just subscribe, follow for more, watch my old devlogs. It will actually help me out. And in the video description, you'll find all of my links, or even in the channel about section, you can just support me on Patreon, and it will be very helpful. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Cheers.